All right, wonderful people, lovers of freedom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome back to Let's Talk TV, your one and only YouTube platform where they're giving a back-to-back update on how things they be, on how things they shell for Biafra land. Yes, my people. Yes, if you're joining us for the first time, remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications too. Also, remember to like and share this broadcast as it is hot. Alright, my wonderful people, the latest one with the boss brains right now. They say, yes, Zoo Police has invaded the principal of Stars of Nation School. Yes, accusing him of being involved with a bad governance protest. Yes, saying that he was involved with financing terrorism. Yes, my people, that is what they are calling the protest that was made. People, these Zoo people, they off me, because me, I know come, they understand. Your people are coming out to protest because of how they are suffering, and you are calling it, you're calling it terrorism. You're calling what they did terrorism, saying that this so-called principal financed terrorism. People, if you look at it, this is the same kind of thing that happened during when Boko Haram started giving issues, and the indigenous people of Biafra also came out and did a protest during that time, and they left Boko Haram, that was actually a known terrorist group, and decided to name Biafra movement, or IPOB, a terrorist group. And people, look at it and look at what has just weigh the same thing that happened then and weigh the same thing that is happening now. You will just come to find out that it is the same thing. It is the same people that they are dealing with. They change government or they change authority, but it's the same set of people, the same kind of mindset, the same cabal that is still in power at the moment. That is just the truth of the matter. Okay, so coming from the Sahara Reporter, they said here that it has been reported that the school administrator had been invited by the Office of the Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence Response Team, IRT, Department of Force Intelligence, over allegations of criminal conspiracy, terrorism, financing, and treasonable felony, subversion, and cybercrime. All these things just because of someone is linked to supporting or financing the end bad governance. That is just it. Okay, the Nigerian police have invaded the house of principal of Stars of Nation Schools in Nasarawa State, Mrs. Helene Batubo, in connection with end bad governance protests. It was reported that the school administrator had been by the Office of the Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence Response Team, IRT, Department of Force Intelligence, over allegations of criminal conspiracy, terrorism, financing, and treasonable felony, subversion, and cybercrime. The invitation, detailed in an official letter, required the school principal to appear for an interview on Tuesday, August 20th, 2024, at the IRC complex in Guzapi in district. It says here that on Tuesday, it was reported that the Batubo is a stepdaughter of Mr. Andrew, who owns the school and runs the bookshop on the second floor of the Nigerian Labour Congress, which is in Abuja. So, the bookshop, along with other rooms in the building, was raided by the security agents, who carted away some materials, claiming that the materials were used to incite and organize the ongoing bad governance protests in the country. It just lets you know that when the PM Ekpa said that Igbos should avoid joining, Biafrans should avoid joining this thing, they come the para, say why PM Ekpa go they call that kind of thing. Why is he saying to look at the results? Look at the result that these people are looking for who to arrest after when people came out to protest is now a bad thing. To come out and speak for yourself is now a bad thing. My people, they shock me. If you know they shock you now, they shock me. He says here that it was reported that the police raided the house of the school principal, and coming from the sources, they said they have invaded the house of the principal of the Stars of Nation Schools in connection with the end band governance protests. They invited them and they sent a letter that next week they will come, but they burgled the house. Rather, let's say they said that they would come next week, but instead they now came the day they sent the same letter They came, in fact, they did not come the day they sent the letter, rather, but they came before when they said they would actually come to raid. And that is just the truth of the matter. They would always trick you and say something else and do whatever they would want to do at the end. That is just what these people are known for. That is what they would always do. Because, of course, they would not want people to be caught. Yes. So he says here also, one of the things we've gotten is that this set of things that are happening, we should just know that it should be taken into record that these things are fully done just because of the things that concern the Biafra movement. And people, let us be aware of these things and be very, very wary. Avoid anything that PM tells us to avoid, because this is the result. This is just the result of it. Okay, anyway, Shana, saw you the bean, I saw you the horse, my people. As the horse we have a big news coming, big news, voice notes, recording coming soon, immediately after I'm done. And my people, listen carefully. It is connected with the Biafra movement and everything that we've been fighting for. Listen attentively. Yes, thank you.
To come out and vote during the third phase of the self-referendum. So for the fact that you have between first and second stages, over 40 people have already voted. Now imagine what will happen before the end of the second phase and the beginning to the end of the third stage. Imagine what will happen. So now, and as we all can see, over these 40 million Biafrans that have voted already, the intentions and aspirations of these 40 plus million people that have voted already is only but one thing, which is freedom of Biafra. So now, that is what this statement is talking about. So then, hereby resolved, this 24th day of June 2024, OEAS, they said, there will be an emergency state of the Union press briefing with the BIAGIE international lawyer, Dr. Levy, and the Biafra Prime Minister, of course, Mazi Ekpa Njoku Odrizum Mangu 1. Wow. This is huge. This is really huge. This is very, very huge. Now, who are these let us see who are these. Who are these OEAS? Who are these OEAS? Let us see who are these OEAS. Organization of Emerging African States, OEAS. So who are these OEAS? Let us see who they are. First of all, this is their logo. The Organization of Emerging African States, OEAS. Okay. All right, let's continue. Let us keep searching. Who are these OEAS? I think we have to go to their website and check who they really are. Let's go to their website and check who they are. OEAS. If you have any idea of the OEAS, please let us know in the comment section, or of course let me drop the number. Let me drop the number on your screen so that those of you who would want to call in and make your contribution will be able to call and make your contribution. Very, very important. If you want to say anything as I'm making my research, you have every opportunity to call. The number is right there on your screen for you to call directly on WhatsApp So you can, of course, make your contribution and tell us more. Now, this is the website of the Organization of Emerging African States. Organization of Emerging African States, they said about us. I'm not going to read a lot. I just want us to see what they are up to, what they can do, and what is this organization all about. You can see this is about us. The OEAS is a NGO dedicated to freedom in Africa. NGO dedicated to freedom in Africa. Our principles are encompassed in the Washington Declaration of 2010. Our principles are encompassed in the Washington Declaration of 2010. This amazing document provides a roadmap for a free and prosperous Africa united in freedom. The OEAS is a registered non-profit corporation based in Washington, D.C., with a General Assembly of States planned for Juba, South Sudan. Then they say prospective member states and organizations seeking consultative status may contact us at our contact email address. Now, this is about OEAS, the Organization of Emerging African States. Now, what these organizations, of course, they are domiciled in Washington, D.C. So, what they do is to help and push the narrative, the desires, the aspirations of every people in Africa that want to be free from the colonial enslavement. That is what this organization is all about. As you can see here, they also made mention of Juba, South Sudan. So that is what they do. And of course, when they come out and recognize what you are doing, it is not going to end it's not going to end on top of their own table. They are not just there to recognize you. I still believe that there are still other things that they can offer. There are still other things they can do in terms of pushing your narrative to the world. As the Prime Minister of the BRGIE always say, and I quote, that our fight for freedom is multidimensional. It's multidimensional. As we fight on ground, we also fight diplomatically. Very, very important. Very, very important. Now, as if this is not enough, I have already made a record of these very, of these very news that I'm bringing right now to your screen. I have already recorded it during my pre-recorded broadcast this very evening, whereby LA Weekly is currently reporting the Biafran matters at the moment in the United States of America. Biafrans, a people in diaspora longing for a home to call their own. Longing for a home to call their own. For hundreds and even thousands of years, Africa has borne witness to huge moments in human history. Current scientific evidence points to Africa as the cradle of humankind, and why there is a debate on where exactly in Africa humans first emerged. The continent still plays a central role in the origin of the human race. Africa is also a land of turmoil, a land of turmoil, with the West and East African slave trade unleashing huge devastation on the continent people. Various colonial empires partitioned Africa among themselves. They partitioned Africa among themselves. Started with their meeting was it Berlin? Berlin, yes, Germany. In 18 something, they partitioned Africa at our own absence, without our consent. They divided our lands. They invaded us with guns and bullets in order to join us together. That is the chaos you have today in Africa. Now, they say, why the remaining local kingdoms waged war against each other, ethnic and religious conflict persists even in the post-colonial era. Now, let me bring you to this place. Let me bring you to this place. Yes. Look at here. They said, more than 50 years since the end of the Nigerian Civil War, the continuing ethno-religious tensions and underdevelopment in the region of Biafra, have resulted in a Biafran diaspora with millions of Biafrans leaving Nigeria for a better life overseas. In the United States alone, only in America, there are 4 million Biafrans. 4 million Biafrans. Do you know that there are some countries today, there are some nations today that are not even up to 4 million people? Are you aware that there are some countries today that are not up to 4 million people? Even in Europe, there are some countries that are not up to 4 million people in Europe. But we are talking about Biafrans, only the ones in America. Not all the American continent, not all the North American continent. We are talking about those in the USA, United States of America alone. The ones in Canada are not counted. The ones in other North American countries are not counted. Now, when you go to South America, South American continent, we are in millions over there. We are in millions. Now, if you bring Biafrans in Europe as a whole, including those in Britain, we are more than 15 million in Europe. Now, if you go to other African countries, all over African countries in Africa here, we have more than 20 to 30 million Biafrans outside, in Africa alone. I'm telling you. Because only Biafrans in South Africa, I don't know if there are more than this 4 million. I don't know. I'm serious. I'm serious about this. I don't know. I don't know how many there are. Now, let's continue. They say there are 4 million Biafrans in the USA alone, despite the country no longer existing for over 5 decades. The dream for an independent state still remains, with a Biafra Republic government in exile, BRGIE, declared in 2023, with Finland-based Simon Ekpa as its prime minister, along with 200 cabinet ministers and liaison offices in many different countries, especially those with significant Biafran populations. Back in Nigeria, Biafrans have been holding civil disobedience campaigns in protest. What are these civil disobedience campaigns we have been holding in Biafra land that the United States of America media outlet has recognized? That very civil disobedience, the number one of them all, if not the only one or the main one, is the sit at home that the enemies have been fighting so hard to stop. Are you paying attention? Somebody say Luxembourg is 600,000. Thank you. Let me bring it to the screen. That is what I'm saying. There are some countries, even in Europe, that are not up to 4 million. And somebody is telling me that Luxembourg is 6,000 people. And I learned, I read one thing. I don't know if it's a documentary or what. I don't know. They said that Luxembourg is is it the richest country in Europe? Or I don't know. There's something there. Is it the richest country or what? Something like that. Can you correct me, those of you that live in Europe? I saw something sometime in the past that said that Luxembourg is, so another person say Malta is 400,000. You see? And now, this Luxembourg that has 600,000, I heard that they are, I don't know if it's richest or what. There is something they control as the biggest in the world. Somebody say in the world. Thank you. The richest country in the world. Not even America, not China, not France, not Germany, not United Kingdom, not Russia, not France, not Dubai. But Luxembourg, small Luxembourg, I don't know if they are up to my village. I'm not sure if they are up to my village. But they are the richest country in the world. I don't know if it's by GDP. Probably by GDP or something like that. I don't know. And they are 600,000 in population. And they have no oil. They have no oil. They have no gas, nor gold. Now, in Biafra land, we have oil and we have gas. The gas in Izombe, many of you do not know the reason of the senseless buying of our people in Izombe over the years. The gas in Izombe, based on rating, is the largest gas deposit in entire West Africa. And since it is in West Africa, that means it is Africa as a whole. Because there is no any other country that has biggest gas in Africa than the zoo. If you join, if if you match them with Biafra and Niger Delta, the Niger Delta, where they call Niger Delta. So if you match them together, no country has the biggest oil if not in the world. In the world. Because I can tell you, tell me how many states in Russia. Russia is deemed as the richest oil producing country in the world, right? Good. Tell me how many states. I don't know what they call in Russia. Is it state or county or province? Tell me how many states in Russia today that produce oil in large quantity. How many are there? How many states produce oil in Russia? Those of you that live in Russia, if you are here listening to me right now, I need an answer. How many states are producing oil in Russia? Of course, if you go to Google today, you ask the top 10 oil producing country, Russia, America. America was told that the only place they have oil in America is in Texas. In Texas. So even if it's big, or I noticed that states are big, the American states are like countries. But even if they are big, but at least they are one state. It is one state. So, but in the zoo, do you know how many states producing oil in the zoo? Let me count them based on the the names given to them by the zoo. River State is there. Cross River is there. Akwa Ibom is there. Imo State is there. Abia State is there. Bayelsa is there. Delta State is there. Edo State is there. I don't even know Ondo State is also there. Ondo State, I think Ondo State is among the Niger Delta. Ondo State is there. Now, Anambra State has been recently added. Oil is found in Enugu State, which we shared the video sometime in the past, around 2020 or 2021, where fire was, I don't know, I don't even know. They said there is huge oil deposit or gas deposit under the ground because we saw the fire all of a sudden. Now, if you calculate all these states, there are about 12 to 13 oil producing states under the zoo. Now tell me, how many states? I don't know. It's like there's nobody from Russia is watching this live broadcast. I'm looking at the comments. I'm waiting for people from Russia. I want to know how many states are oil producing states in Russia. How many states are oil producers in Russia? Let me know. Somebody said that's gas in Enugu. Nwere onwe Biafra. Nwere onwe you change your afa gi. Oh, I find you a before. So now you see how many states? About 12 to 13. Yet they are not even rated among the top 10 oil producing countries in the world because of what? Corruption and the money from the oil is not being shown, not just in the country, but also among the citizens. It's not shown. So now you see, Enugu, they say Enugu is gas, fine, very good and fine. The oil, the gas in Izombe is the biggest in entire West Africa. And if it's the biggest in West Africa, that means it's the largest in Africa as a whole. Of course, I understand you are the one, Mazi. I can see your picture. I can see that. So now, what is this? Look at this place. They said, Biafrans have been holding civil disobedience campaigns in protest. And what is that? They sit at home. That they have been fighting to stop for the past 3 years. They failed. The zoo government kept silent. The Southeast governors kept silent. The Ohanes Ndioshi kept silent. All the politicians, House of Reps, senators, everybody kept quiet. Nobody talked. They pretended as if the sit at home is useless. They pretended as if they don't care. We can sit at home till eternity. Who cares? Nobody cares. Now, some people were not aware that these people, these zoo politicians, and of course, the Igbo, Ohanes Ndioshi, and other Igbo politicians, including the military, were all waiting to see what the DOS can do. Because ego before no go be a future, go be a faka, go be a fisi, ego fisi to make sure that once this man is apprehended and rendition to Nigeria, nothing will happen. Nothing. We don't want to see anybody do PIM in Biafra land, in the southeast or wherever. We just want to seal it, let it be like nothing happens. Use your command and control to control everywhere. Make sure that there is serenity. Make sure there is tranquility. Make sure that there is civil. Make sure that there is order. Make sure that there is order. Use your command and control and calm everywhere down. Now, when they saw the growing frustrations from Biafran people, they announced that 9th August Monday sit at home. They came, do gara 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 gara. At least let us show them we are doing something. We are not just keeping quiet. If you don't release person, I had Chinas and Woru shouting on top of his voice on the radio Fulani. If you don't release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the 9th of August, every nook and cranny of Biafra land will be under lock and key. We are jumping up and down. I am the Kwamburianisi, if any Simbukambuka Kambuzi. Burianisi, now shout on top of my voice on Biafra United channel. Now shout every day. Sit at home, Kande Kuzimakia, until that very day, 9th of August 2021. I made that sit at home. Everywhere was on fire. Everyone, they never knew that such announcement could have, gathered such momentum. They never knew that that move they made would have gathered such momentum. Everywhere was completely locked down, completely shut down.